In a SPAC, investors seek to raise hundreds of millions of dollars, simply with a promise to use it in 24 months or so to pursue a takeover. Investors in the SPACs trust the dealmakers to make an acquisition that will make them money in the longer term. Finance titans like Bill Ackman, activist investor Cliff Robbins, and former Blackstone investor Chin Chu have all recently raised money for SPACs. Wall Street firms Goldman, Apollo, and Centerview have ones too. Total SPAC issuance soared past $25 billion through mid-August, already the most ever raised in a single year. Technology billionaire and Sacramento Kings owner Vivek Ranadive said a SPAC helps him capture the greatest wealth creation opportunity in history. That's miles away from where they were a couple decades ago, when the perception of SPACs was dim at best.
They were kind of sleazy, and people didn't know the companies, people didn't know the investors. Then in the early 2000s, Citibank became the first mainstream bank to work with SPACs, and the IPO market had shut. It was the only alternative. And now we're into SPAC 3.0, where it's actually a better path than an IPO.
Privately held firms are choosing SPACs because they present fewer regulatory hurdles than IPOs. They can get access to public markets faster and without jumping through the same hoops as an initial public offering. Investment banks like SPACs because they're bringing in substantial fees. In a year when market uncertainties depressed expectations for IPOs, SPACs have already generated more than $800 million in fees for Credit Suisse, Goldman, Citigroup, and others. Yet SPACs aren't without risk. Many pursue deals that fail to yield returns. SPACs since 2010 have returned 10% on average through mid-August. In that time, the S&P rallied more than 200%. But Wall Street is betting that SPACs will fulfill their promise, and that today's SPACs will match big money to the right deals. Bill Ackman, who launched the largest ever SPAC in July, summed up the opportunity and the challenge.
Basically, we're in a unicorn mating dance, and we want to, marry a very attractive unicorn on the other side that meets our characteristics. And we've designed ourselves to be a really attractive partner.